What up, guys? So, the first start to this Benet Ramsey case, I'll give you a short rundown on who this girl was. So, from what I know, she was a 6 year old young lady that her mother would put in beauty pageants and was recognized. I don't know what the extent of the beauty pageants were, but I know they definitely did them in their community. This young girl passed away under the oddest circumstances, and there are no known answers as to who did it. Oddly enough, I can't help but see this family has been accused since day one. And it's disheartening because once you get one person with a loud enough voice to voice their opinion, most people in public don't look for facts. They just listen to anything anyone says. And for example, I mean, it almost seemed like the way this case was handled, that it was kind of setting the family up to look guilty. Like, these cops get there to investigate the case, don't search the whole house after they find this ransom note was left, demanding a specific amount of money, and there's all sorts of odd stuff in this 3 page ransom note. Really sick and disturbing stuff. So, anyway, the police go and search this house and are letting, while in this crime scene, let the family and the friends be there. Mistake number one. Everyone exits the premises immediately. To me, that's a red flag already, and it's not on the Ramseys, it's on the police. So, this officer apparently states for the father and a family friend to go and see if there's anything out of place. And in the process of this, they find a flashlight and then claim that the dad darted straight towards the basement, which, mind you, this basement was known to be where the children played. There was a playroom down there. So, me being a parent, it kind of makes sense to think, oh, look in the playroom. I will say it's odd that, like, if my kid got taken, I'd read that letter. I'm going to get a weapon and I'm going to search that house immediately. I'm not even calling the cops right away. I'm going to search that house. I come from a different lifestyle. These people were very wealthy. They were very proper, from my understanding. In situations like this, were probably a bit more scary than it would have been to me. So it does make sense, actually, that they, I suppose, did call the police. But this day and age, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Now I'm getting off track. So, the father apparently goes in the basement and finds his daughter in the blanket. Um, they claim that this find is odd. Um, there was something that was around her neck. They found marks that she was hit hard in the head, but there was no external bleeding, only internal, and it could have been fatal. They don't know if it was that or the thing with the throat. But they said it was odd that she was found with a blanket. Um, because in previous cases, when people are found like this, they're just left. There's no Oh, we'll make sure they're covered up. Oh, um, I hope that's making sense. There would be no compassion. It would be I guess the investigator was stating that it would be similar to um, putting, like collect a car outside. You'd put a cover on it, or throwing the trash out. You're just gonna throw the trash out. That's how they're viewing this. Someone cared about this to do that. So anyway, this is just the beginning of it. And, in the process of all this, you got to remember this is going on for 2+ decades. So this family has been accused of being a part of this even after having beat trial, having no DNA connected. Uh, there's still questions circulating. And the one that bothered me the most was of the brother. You got to remember, this kid was 9 years old when this happened. Now you got to think of the magnitude of this case and how massive this was. That little boy has been sheltered and hidden away because of the media frenzy and the thirst of these, like, vultures. I can tell you, I've gone through this. These media people sat outside my mom's house waiting, knocking on the door, waiting for someone to leave. They'll like put you under surveillance. They'll tap into any and everyone, anything you know. It's very dehumanizing the way these reporters will go about getting what they want. So, uh, drifting too far into explaining this boy has been sheltered. I'm sure he hasn't been very social. Imagine what your life would be like if you were stuck in the house, your friends were limited, there were no social media. When you finally go on Dr. Phil, you're gonna seem weird because your anxiety is gonna be crazy. You're gonna have social anxiety. It's you're gonna be happy because you're not around people a lot. Like, I I'm sitting here and I'm seeing. I'm not saying he's hasn't done anything, but I'm saying the way he acts as of recent makes complete sense if you're smart enough to pay attention to every detail. Don't pay attention to half the details. Pay attention to all the details. The boy was 9 years old. The boy was hunted by media to get answers, to get interviews. This kid was shut away. This kid has not had much of a social life because of these people wanting the answers that, quite frankly, he doesn't owe them answers. None of these people that want answers help their family do anything. Why does he owe them an answer? He doesn't owe them an answer. I feel bad. Why would, you know, it doesn't make sense. The idea of this little girl brought positivity to this family. This 6 year old little girl did nothing but bring positivity. They blame the brother. Well, I'll tell you what, apparently it was before Christmas. How many kids do you know that are pissed off to hurt someone when they know they're getting presents soon? I don't know any. I mean, I was a kid at one time. Doesn't make sense to me. Uh, this little girl, why would the parents be mad? What would this little girl have done? She's a public figure that brings public positivity to this wealthy family. And she's 6 years old. She doesn't need to do anything for the family at all. She's bringing something to the table at 6 years old. You gotta think outside the box. Super, super weird that I'm watching all these documentaries about this, and I never really seen anyone touch down on the fact that the I think his name was Ellis or Eller, uh, uh, a cop that was in charge of this case didn't want help from the FBI. Coincidentally, there's what someone else said uh, could have been a police issued boot print. There was a taser there. Who would have a taser? Police. There's a big old flashlight there. Who do you know that carries flashlights like that? Police. If you're heading something that may, and I'm not saying that they are, I'm just saying this is an idea that we're trying to figure out who did it, right? Well, there's three evidence things that point to an obvious source of one of them, or you got to remember these guys contaminated this crime scene from the beginning. So I would rather roll with a guy denying FBI help for what? You're hiding something or it's your ego? Which is it going to be? Put in the comments what you think it is. Till today, from my understanding, this thing still isn't solved. I'm still doing research on it. And I'm going to put up another video with some more ideas I have about this. But, yeah, it blows my mind the incompetence involved in this case. You can say they didn't know, but if you don't know and you realize you already screwed up a crime scene, why wouldn't you want help from the FBI? Or is maybe that why you denied help? I feel like instead of harassing the brother, let's harass the people that botched this case. Let's spend time doing that. Let's spend time hunting down the people that refused to get help from outside people, that wanted to help, that were willing to give extra resources that they didn't have there to help. From what I know, in my opinion, it's really, really weird if you were in that position and you've never dealt with anything like this, and at that time it was really weird for the whole world to see. Why would you deny help? What would be the reason you would deny getting help, knowing you're not capable of figuring this out? And it only proves it because it's 2 decades later and they still haven't figured it out. So anyway, that'll be the end of this for right now. We're going to dive back into this in a little bit. See you guys soon. Love you.